What's going on, guys? Just Messi here and welcome to a brand new video and welcome to your daily dose of transfer gossip. I can say it again now because from today, transfer videos every single day at 8 AM UK time for the summer transfer window. And the reason I'm starting today on a Thursday the 17th of May is because as of today, the Premier League transfer window is officially open for 12 weeks I believe until around the 9th of August. So just before we get started, as always, if you enjoy these videos and enjoy transfers, make sure to show your support by leaving a like rating. That'd be absolutely awesome and greatly appreciated. If you're new to my channel, make sure to press the subscribe button for more and press the notification tab next to it to receive an alert every single time I upload a video. If you missed last night's video, it will be down below in the description box and the comment section below. Because the World Cup is just a couple of weeks away now, who do you think is going to win it? Right, let's get started with the confirmed deals, and the first three are from the Bundesliga. The very first player is going to a player called Mowild. I probably said that wrong, but today he has joined Werder Bremen from Nuremberg on a free transfer. They also signed Osako, a Japanese international I believe, from FC Cologne, who were relegated for around €6 million. That could be a relegation clause or something, just like Bittencourt's deal a couple of days ago. Then we've got Belfodil going to Hoffenheim from Standard Liège in Belgium for again €6 million. It's a 4-year contract for him, and actually before last season or this season has just been, he was on loan to Werder Bremen. And now Hoffenheim will be playing in the Champions League next season after coming third in the Bundesliga. It's a great year for them basically, and now hopefully in the transfer window they can start picking up some more players and progress even further. Then we move on to Alan McGregor going to Rangers, or re-signing for Rangers after a couple of years away, or a few years away from Hull City for an undisclosed fee on a 2-year deal. The next two are going to contract extensions, a pretty big one starting off for Spurs, being Davinson Sanchez. The Colombian international signed a new deal to 2024 after signing 1 year ago from Ajax, and to be fair, had a very solid debut year and has got bags of potential. Then we got former Arsenal and Manchester United striker being Robin van Persie, signing a new contract with Feyenoord until 2019. And the final two today are going to managerial ones. So the very first one is David Moyes leaving West Ham United, and they've got two apparent candidates to potentially replace him very soon. The very first one is Paulo Fonseca, and there is also Rafa Benitez from Newcastle. And I think Newcastle fans obviously really want Rafa to stay, but it could depend on how much money Mike actually gives him, because over the last couple of transfer windows, it hasn't been much. And the other manager losing his job yesterday is Sam Allardyce of Everton, or formerly of Everton now, after just a few months in charge of the job, because he came in, Everton weren't doing very well whatsoever after spending a lot of money in the summer transfer window last year. Obviously kept them safe, got them mid-table, but it wasn't enough for them. The style of football, the Everton fans didn't really like it, and the apparent replacement for him is Marco Silva, the former Hull City and Watford manager. That one may not be confirmed for a little bit though, because there are apparent rumours that Watford may make a complaint to Everton about how they potentially tapped him up. And now let's move on to potential deals then. The first three are with Arsenal. The very first one though is an Arsenal legend being Patrick Vieira. So according to various different outlets, Arsenal have contacted Patrick Vieira in the last 24 hours or 48 hours now, but the former midfielder does feel the call itself as a token gesture and is now disappointed. I imagine he was hoping to get a call to basically be asked to work for Arsenal as a manager, and turns out right now that won't be the case. But next to him, another former Arsenal midfielder being Mikel Arteta, who is working under Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. And again, a lot of different outlets, but in particular today The Independent, they're saying Mikel Arteta is very close to becoming the Arsenal manager, with former teammate Santi Cazorla lined up for a backroom role. I do feel sorry for Santi Cazorla because he's been injured for a long time now, and probably isn't too convinced of how long he can actually play again, especially for Arsenal at top level. But being part of the backroom staff under Arteta, it may be a good opportunity for him. And obviously some Arsenal fans are quite disappointed about potentially getting Arteta because yes, he's a former Arsenal player and has worked under Pep, but the main thing, they want a big name to replace Arsene Wenger, and he has got big boots to fill. So do I think it'll be a successful one? Obviously it's hard to call, I can't really tell. It's a very risky move from Arsenal, but it could well pay off. And next to him is going to a potential player going to Arsenal this time, being Jean-Michel Seri. So first up, according to Sky Sports, Arsenal bosses have held talks with the representatives of the Nice midfielder, the star midfielder Jean-Michel Seri, as they consider a formal move. And Daily Mirror are saying that Arsenal have held talks with a 26-year-old who's valued around £40 million by Nice, but Chelsea is still the favourites to sign him though. And if you go back 12 months or so ago, just before Paulinho joined Barca, Seri was the apparent main target for them. That's who the fans really wanted, and he didn't end up making the move. But now potentially Arsenal or Chelsea, I imagine it could happen this summer. Then we've got a very short one according to the Daily Express, and that Leicester and West Ham will make moves to sign Patrick Roberts after the Scottish Cup final, which I imagine is the next couple of days. He is still owned by Manchester City, and there are still rumours about Morris potentially going to Man City, so potentially Leicester may ask for Roberts in return. He did join City all the way back in 2015 from Fulham, and then only actually made one appearance for them, but since then has been out on loan to Celtic. The papers seem to suggest he's valued around £15 million by City at this point in time, but again, if Morris is including the deal, it could just take some valuation off. And keeping on the theme of Manchester City, now we've got one of their players currently, again being Ilkay Gundogan. So according to Corriere dello Sport today, Inter Milan will bid for the Man City midfielder if they qualify for the Champions League next season. Now the article itself does not mention how much Gundogan is currently valued at by City or how much Inter Milan would bid, so I can't really go into too much detail about it, but if it was to happen, he might not be the only centre mid from Germany going to the Serie A this summer, because apparently Emre Can's going to Juve. And now we go on to one from the Daily Mail saying that Barca have reached an agreement with Sevilla to sign centre back Clement Lenglet, again apologies about the pronunciation there, and the fee would be around £30 million. Now I'm not sure how much truth there is in this one, because it's an English paper reporting like an exclusive about Barca, and to me it doesn't really make too much sense, to be honest, but if it was to happen, obviously a young talent, and it could part the likes of Umtiti. And now another player linked to Arsenal is going to be Sokratis. So the last couple of days has been him and Koulibaly potentially going to them. With Koscielny out for a long time, it kind of makes sense these rumours are going about. But this time according to Bild and also Kicker in Germany, Sokratis is set to become Arsenal's first signing in the post-Arsene Wenger era, and the fee is around 15 to 20 million euros. Now obviously he's a great player on Ultimate Team and has been a good player for Borussia Dortmund, but this season in particular, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter really say that he hasn't really been as good as previous years. I think he's like 29 years old as well, but in regards to FIFA Ultimate Team again, if he's like even like an 84 next year with good pace, good defending and physical, he'll be used a lot. And basing off what Arsenal currently do have, obviously Koulibaly would be a massive upgrade in what they've got, but this season like some Mavropanos has come in and actually played a couple games towards the end, got sent off and did put a good shift in on his debut I think against Manchester United, but the likes of like Holding, you've got Callum Chambers, Mustafi's even in that category, they haven't really played too well this season, like defensively for Arsenal. Monreal's like an exception, Koscielny, he's been okay here and there, but not really as good again as previous years, and someone like Sokratis, it's not great on what they've got. And the final rumour on this page according to Manchester Evening News, they're saying that Barca legend Andres Iniesta says that Pep Guardiola has contacted him about a potential move to Man City. It still hasn't been confirmed where he's actually going at this point in time, because a couple weeks ago it broke that like Vissel Kobe in Japan had agreed to get him, but they've denied that now. Also linked to the Chinese Super League, also linked to Man City. I just don't know where he'll end up, but the favourites are still the Chinese Super League at some point, and a lot of places are still mentioning the fact that most deals could include a slight business for his wine company. And next up we've got the Serbian midfielder Milinkovic-Savic currently playing for Lazio in the Serie A. And according to the Keep today, Ligue 1 champions Paris Saint-Germain are in regular contact with the entourage of the Lazio midfielder over a potential summer move to Paris. Juventus and Manchester United are still mentioned as interested parties, and PSG's main interest, it does actually come down to whether UEFA take action on them for financial fair play. And something positive for PSG if they do make the transfer, obviously aside from getting him, is that it could be quite easy because his current agent is a former PSG player being Mattia Kezman. So from one player potentially going to the Ligue 1 today, we have one potentially going away from there, being Radamel Falcao of AS Monaco. So according to Colombian outlet Antena 2 Deport, they are saying that MLS outfit Atlanta United have lodged an offer for Radamel Falcao. The Monaco captain has supposedly been offered €4 million per season, and it does seem he could be leaving Monaco this summer because so far, quite a lot of teams have been linked to him. And next up, according to the Daily Mail, Juventus have placed PSG's Marco Verratti at the top of their summer shopping list as a bid to continue their remarkable run of Serie A titles. And they did become champions for the 7th consecutive season now, which is crazy, and again will look to go for 8, 9 and 10, and to do so, they'll have to keep reinvesting each summer. And the final rumour on this page, according to the Daily Mirror, is suggesting that Real Madrid are ready to make a move for Courtois, with the Chelsea goalkeeper approaching the last 12 months of his current contract. It does seem that Real Madrid have been trying to bring in a goalkeeper for a long time now to replace Keylor Navas potentially, and Courtois is definitely not a new name in the hat really, because before, obviously, the main one was David De Gea. Since then, it's been the likes of Oblak, Courtois, Donnarumma, amongst many others. So could Courtois make the move? I imagine so, because 12 months left in his contract, Chelsea made it to cash in if he doesn't sign a new one, and back in January there were reports suggesting his current family still live in Madrid, so it makes sense from that front as well. And now we move on to the final 4 rumours, and the very first one is according to Manchester Evening News. Manchester United face competition from Paris Saint-Germain for signing of Fred. The Shakhtar Donetsk midfielder has a £53 million release clause in his contract right now, and apparently United, they are willing to activate that. It did seem back in January he'd be moving to Man City instead, but apparently according to different reports now, he actually has a dream of playing for Manchester United, so the clause itself, I don't imagine it would be an issue whatsoever. The PSG interest potentially, that may cause some. And turns out the next one's also Manchester United, and the one after that, again, is United. So the second one is at Toby Alderweireld. According to the Evening Standard today, Manchester United are confident they'll sign Toby Alderweireld for £40 million this summer, and Tottenham is set to replace him with Ajax centre-back De Ligt. I mentioned a couple of days ago how De Ligt was apparently on the radar of Bayern Munich, and it would make sense if they sold Toby Alderweireld, who this season only played like 11 games I think it was, and Jan Vertonghen was absolutely fantastic. Bringing a youngster like De Ligt next to Davinson Sanchez, that could be pretty damn impressive. And from a United standpoint, getting Alderweireld in next to Eric Bailly, that is arguably the best centre-back pair in the Prem. Like, potentially there, it could be unreal. And he is regarded still as one of the best centre-backs in the Prem. So again, £40 million in this day and age, in this market, it doesn't seem bad at all. And another familiar face linked to United this time is going to be Willian. Again, the source is Manchester Evening News, and they say United have held informal talks with Chelsea Wingers representatives ahead of the summer transfer window. And the final one today is a very short rumour according to TYC Sports. It's pretty straightforward as well. Messi has ruled out ever leaving Barcelona. And there are still rumours suggesting potentially towards the very end of his career, that lasts like 1 or 2 years, he may go back to Argentina to play, which makes sense, like a nice send-off for him. But every single transfer window, there's still rumours suggesting he could go to PSG, Man City, Chelsea, but according to them, it won't happen. And that, guys, is going to be it for this transfer video. So as always, if you enjoyed it, make sure to show support by leaving a like rating. That'd be absolutely awesome and greatly appreciated. If you're new to my channel, make sure to press the subscribe button for more and press the notifications tab next to it to receive an alert every single time I upload a video. If you missed my previous video from last night, look down below in the description box and the comment section below who do you think is going to win the World Cup this summer. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.